Have you ever stopped to think about the ripple effect of your absence? It's easy to underestimate its power. When you leave, truly leave, something profound begins to shift, not just in their world, but in yours. Your absence isn't just a void, it's a message. And the silence you leave behind? That silence speaks louder than anything you could have said. At first, they don't notice. They might even feel relieved. You're not there to call them out, to remind them of their shortcomings, to shine a light on the gaps they've been ignoring. But here's the thing. When someone has been nourished by your presence for so long, even if they never appreciated it, the moment that nourishment is gone, they start to feel the lack. Think about it. How often were you the one to initiate, to check in, to show up, to carry the emotional weight of the connection? They didn't see it then because it was constant, like the air they breathed. But now that it's gone, it's like gasping in a vacuum. The absence of your presence doesn't just feel empty, it feels suffocating. And the silence? It's not just any silence. It's the kind of silence that forces them to sit with their own thoughts. It's the kind of silence that magnifies their regrets, their mistakes, their inability to see what they had when they had it. Because in the absence of your voice, all they have left is their own, echoing back to them with questions they don't want to answer. Why did I take them for granted? How did I not see their worth? What would I have done differently if I'd known they would leave? But this silence isn't just about them. It's about you too. It's the space you've created to hear your own voice again. For so long, your energy might have been tied up in meeting their needs, in hoping they'd finally see your worth. But now, in this silence, you've found clarity. You've found peace. This silence is your strength. It's the moment you stop trying to explain yourself, stop trying to prove your value, and let your absence do the talking. It's not about revenge. It's not about bitterness. It's about stepping back and realizing that your time, your energy, your love, these are gifts. And if they didn't value them, they were never meant for them in the first place. Now, they're left to deal with the silence. But you're free. Free to focus on the things that matter. Free to pour your energy into people and places that see your value without you having to explain it. Free to grow into the person you were always meant to be. So let me ask you this. How has your absence shaped your life? How has it shaped theirs? If you've ever felt the weight of leaving someone behind, or the power of reclaiming your peace, comment below. I honor my silence. Let this be a declaration of your strength and a reminder that sometimes the loudest thing you can do is say nothing at all. Imagine this. The moment it finally sinks in for them that you're gone, not temporarily, not as a momentary pause, but truly and completely gone. At first, they resist this reality. They tell themselves it's just a phase, that you'll come back. After all, haven't you always? Haven't you been the constant, the one who forgives, the one who stays even when it hurt you? But slowly, that resistance starts to crack. It begins with the small, quiet moments. They're scrolling through their phone and notice they haven't heard from you in days, then weeks. The usual text, the familiar check-in, it's missing. They try to dismiss it at first, but deep down, something doesn't feel right. That absence grows heavier with every passing day. And then, it happens. The moment of realization. It could be triggered by anything. A song that reminds them of you. A place you used to go together. Maybe they hear your name in conversation or stumble across an old message from you. One where you poured your heart out to them. Suddenly, it hits them like a wave. You're not coming back. This isn't just a simple loss for them. It's a loss that carries weight, a weight they can't easily escape. They begin to replay moments in their mind, searching for answers. They think about the times you were there for them, the things you did to show you cared, the ways you made their life easier, brighter, better. And with each memory, the realization deepens. They had something extraordinary, and they let it slip through their fingers. It's not just sadness they feel, it's regret. Regret for the things they said. Regret for the things they didn't say. Regret for the moments they let their ego, their pride, or their apathy get in the way of seeing your worth. They begin to question themselves. Why did I take them for granted? Why didn't I try harder? Why didn't I tell them what they meant to me? But here's the harsh reality for them. Those questions don't have answers. And even if they did, it wouldn't matter, because you're not there anymore. You've moved on. While they sit with this growing weight of realization, you're living a different story. You're not replaying the past the way they are. You're creating a future. You've stepped away from the cycles that drained you, from the one-sided connections that left you feeling unseen. You've chosen yourself, and that's a choice they never expected you to make. But make no mistake, this is not about punishing them or making them feel bad. Their realization, their regret, that's their burden to carry. It's not yours, and it's certainly not your responsibility to ease it. Instead, your focus remains forward. Their realization is just a ripple in the water behind you, while your life is a sea of infinite possibilities stretching out before you. Because here's the truth. When you finally let go of what was, you create space for what will be. You step into a version of yourself that no longer waits to be seen, no longer hopes to be chosen. You realize that the love, energy, and care you once poured into them was never meant to be wasted. It was meant to be redirected. Redirected toward yourself, toward people who reciprocate, toward the passions that ignite you, and the dreams you've set aside for too long. And as you move forward, something incredible happens. You start to feel lighter. You start to feel free. The absence of their validation no longer feels like a loss, but a gift. A reminder that your worth was never tied to their ability to see it. The silence that once felt like a void now feels like peace, a sacred space where your thoughts are your own, untainted by the weight of their indifference. And while they sit with the echoes of what could have been, you are stepping fully into what is, into new experiences, new connections, new opportunities that align with your growth, not your past wounds. You no longer shrink yourself to fit into spaces where you were never truly appreciated. Instead, you expand. You rise. You become the person you were always meant to be. So, let them feel their regret. Let them sit with their realizations. But you don't look back. You don't wait for closure that will never come. You don't hold on to the hope that they'll finally see your worth. Because the only validation you ever truly needed was your own. If you resonate with this, if you felt the power of moving on, comment below, "I choose my future." Let this be your affirmation, your declaration, your truth. Because the past may have shaped you, but it does not define you. The best is yet to come. This message is brought to you by Stoic Pathways. If this reflection spoke to you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. Your journey is yours to own. Your peace is yours to protect. And your future, it's waiting for you to claim it. Stay strong, stay grounded, and keep moving forward. The journey ahead is not about filling the spaces left empty by those who failed to see your worth. It is about creating new spaces, new experiences, and new connections that honor the person you are becoming. The growth that stems from loss is often the most profound because it forces you to redefine what truly matters. Maybe, for the first time in a long time, you can hear your own thoughts without their influence, without their judgment lingering in the air. You can move through the world on your own terms, not waiting for someone else's approval or permission to be exactly who you are. And in that freedom, you discover the true depth of your own strength. You realize that you never needed to beg for attention, affection, or recognition. You were always worthy, always enough, regardless of whether they acknowledged it or not. And as you rise into this new chapter of your life, you understand that walking away was never a loss. It was a gain. Every step you take away from what no longer serves you is a step closer to what does. Every moment you refuse to dwell on the past is a moment you reclaim for your future. And while they sit with their memories, wondering what they could have done differently, you are out there living, not just surviving, not just existing, but thriving. Think about it. When was the last time you truly put yourself first? When was the last time you honored your needs without feeling guilty? Now is that time. Now is your moment. So take that deep breath, feel the weight lifting. Know that this journey, your journey, is yours to shape. And with each passing day, you are stepping into the best version of yourself. If this message resonates, if you are ready to move forward without the weight of the past dragging you down, comment below, "I embrace my new beginning." Because that is exactly what this is, a new beginning. And the best part, you get to decide what happens next. This is your time, your story.